I just got tea all over my face. This is why I'm not a professional. Hey, what's up? Hello, I'm Nia in Progress and welcome to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing a series that I am calling Late to the Game. What is that, you say? It's my way of saying first impression of a product and really reviewing it late because I am not a beauty influencer. I am not a YouTuber professional. I'm not in the beauty industry, so I get my hands on things a little later. I know this launched a month ago, but I, as a conscious consumer, don't like to purchase things right off the bat. I like to wait a little bit, make sure that there's stock. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into a store excited about a launch and they're already out. How lame is that? But I also wanted to give it some time, let the product simmer down a little bit, because nowadays in the makeup community, it's just product after product after product. So I know that there have been a ton of reviews, and this was kind of a huge launch because it is part of the makeup, the Urban Decay Naked platform of products, but definitely wanted to give it a shot myself and see my thoughts as your everyday consumer, not someone who's super professional in makeup, and share them with you. So here's this guy. We'll be going into it a ton, so if you're interested, go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, now that I've got you guys scooched in, we are gonna start with priming the eyeballs. And today I'm going to be using, surprise, surprise, I feel like I'll probably use this a ton, the Tarte Shapetape Concealer in the shade Tan, which is, I think I said this in an earlier video, that this is more of my face shade, not my actual, like, highlighting shade. And this is a product that, seriously, everybody was talking about. I want to say, like, 3 years ago it came out, 2016 or 2015, late 2015, and oh my gosh, it was part of like everybody's yearly favorites. Okay, hopefully I won't repeat that ever again. So I like to dab just a little bit on both eyes. And then I will take a, hold please, noob alert, fluffy brush by Real Techniques. This is their setting brush. And I will start blending that in. I'll get it close to the brow and I'll go back and forth because I don't want the product to just dry down completely without it being blended out on both eyes. Heavy breathing. Maybe I'll insert that little cat there. And my nail polish is chipping. Forgive me, please. And then I'll take my finger, I'm gonna just pat that in lightly and take it up to the brow and conceal near the brow. I'm not fully cutting the brow and defining, but we are getting up in there just to lay down some product evenly. Did you guys see any of that? Let's do this eye just in case. Great. Both eyes look good. And then we're going to go ahead and dig into what this video is all about. And put this all down. I don't have a table next to me yet. Hashtag ghetto. But everything's reachable near the floor. Today we're going to be doing a first impressions and late to the game video on the Naked Urban Decay Honey Palette. I haven't even opened this yet. It takes a lot for me to not open something once I've purchased it. I did that with my iPhone 11 as well, but that is primarily because, hey, Mango, my dog is like under the tripod. Primarily because I didn't have a case and I have a toddler and I didn't want it to get broken right away. Alrighty, well, so I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it. Here it is. It is similar to all the other Naked palettes in size. Let me just quickly grab another Naked palette that I have on hand. So here is the Naked 3 palette. It's like the rose gold mauve tones. In comparison, it's about the same size. It's a little bit bulkier. You can kind of see from the side that it is a little bulkier, and it doesn't have as round edges. Sit. Sit. Lay down. There she goes, shaking. And then as far as the colors go, they're all pretty yellow toned colors. They've got a little bit of that dusty, muted tone to them. As far as the mattes go, shall we swatch some? Let's swatch some. I like the naming of all of them. So we've got Flyby, which is that really super cream color here. Ooh, that one's super soft. Sweet, which is that next shade. And I think Sweet is probably going to be the shade, oh yeah, that I set my eyes with. Swarm, which is a super light, like almost like a mustard. Apricot, that might be a better. No, those are two different types of yellows. Let me grab a wipe as I'm swatching so I can wipe down my hand. Amber, which is this copper shade here. It's the first shimmer that I'm digging into. And when I'm swatching, ooh, pretty. When I'm swatching, I'm not digging my finger super hard in there. I'm lightly tapping and just sweeping through. Keeper, which is like a darker shade than Swarm. Really pretty transition shade. Okay, let's see. Golden, which, you know, I've watched a couple videos on YouTube about this palette, and some people were really upset this wasn't as like stark of a gold, but I'm not mad at it. I think it's quite beautiful. Lighting is really bad in here. It's the evening. Only time I can film. The evening, and then I've got studio lights beside me. Honey, which is more of that yellow gold. Ooh, just from that one little swatch. Here we go. And I don't think I swatched right next to the shade before it. I'm learning. Queen, which is like an olive toned type of gold. I think I just dug my finger into an eyeshadow. Let's see how many times that'll happen every video, right? Ooh, it's like a brown olive. That's pretty. In Hive, we're getting into that, like, not poopy brown, because these aren't, it's kind of that poopy-ish brown, like a yellow tone brown. We're at the end of this rope here. There's my elbow, so we're going to flip to the inside of my arm with Drip, which reminds me of like a coffee color. Ooh, that's pretty. I still don't know what kind of look I'm going to do today either. This is the first time I'm playing with the palette. HBIC, what does that mean? I'm old, guys. Tell me what does that mean? Oh, here we go. Ooh, super pretty. And the last color is Sting. It's a dark, like it almost looks like a cool tone brown. See that? No, actually, it's not. It's not cool. It looked kind of cool tone in the pan. Alright, now that we've got it all swatched, let's get into the makeup look. I have no clue what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and use the brush it came with. I don't find these brushes to be the worst things ever, but they're definitely not the best things. And now that I'm looking at this, here's a brush that it comes with. There's more of that like dense but still fluffy shadow brush. I don't know if I'm going to use that. I could use that to maybe blend some things out, like edges, and then a flat shader brush. This you can really pack in colors. Okay, I'm gonna grab, I keep saying actually, I should have a counter every single video. I'm gonna grab a fluffier brush. Hold please. We're gonna go into that shade called, actually we'll go Sweet or Swarm. We'll go into Sweet here. And we're just gonna take a couple of that, tap off the excess. Oh, did you see that? Woo! This is super dusty. I haven't used, I'm gonna do that again over here. Let's see. I haven't used an Urban Decay palette in so long. I have the Naked 3 on one of my desks. Because I keep telling myself I'm going to use it, and every time I've used it, I'm quite pleased with the kind of look that comes out. I'm just sweeping this everywhere to set down that concealer a little bit and make an even base for everything else we're going to lay on top. But I, one, don't have the time to do makeup as often as I'd like, and two, I love trying out new stuff, so I really should bust it out. Maybe that's what I'll do in the next week. Alright, nothing super crazy here. I'm gonna see if this lighting can improve. Ooh, there we go. Still trying to figure it out. Okay. So now that I've got that in there, I'm gonna go in with the shade with the same brush. This is a Morphe M504. Kind of reminds me of the MAC. Is it 220? I have it somewhere, but it's just a big fluffy brush, and it's a little bit tapered, so you can get in the crease a little bit. Totally fine. Everyone has their preferences. I like this one. I'm going to go in with the shade Swarm. Ooh, ooh. How do people do this? Swarm. That's a lie. I wanted to keep her. This, like, shade over here. There's a lot of kick up on this. Take a look. That, my friends, is kick up when you dig your brush into a pan of eyeshadow and powder comes up. I'm trying really hard not to use kick up in the definition I was providing you. Let's get that guy in the crease just to add some warmth. I'm debating on whether or not I should do something super neutral and wearable, or if I should do something fun with this. So far, everything's blending out really well. You know how normally when you get a new eyeshadow, oh, it does, okay. I was gonna say, this eyeshadow palette doesn't have the mirror adhesive. Like, this mirror sucks. Just kidding, it does. Oh, I can see now. I can see clearly now. The plastic's gone. That's so bad. Alright, so I'm just continuing to do windshield wiper motions and sweeping this in between my crease. How we looking? I think we're looking good. Okay. First impression's super good so far. It is a little dusty if that bothers you. Just a heads up that it does have some kickback and there is some, is there fallout? Not too much fallout. Not that I can see, so a little bit of kickback, not too much fallout. I always do my eyes first because I am super, super duper messy. And in the event there is a ton of fallout, I don't want to have to redo my foundation in any way, shape, or form. I know that some people really, really enjoy doing their makeup the inverse way, where they do their complexion and then eyes, to each their own. I've always done my eyes first. For me, it's better safe than sorry. Alright, I'm still trying to debate on what kind of look we're going to go in. I don't typically use olives and, like, poopy brown colors, so I kind of want to go into the shade here, named Hive, right here. And you can't really see it in this lighting because it's not the greatest, but we're going to take that into the crease with the same fluffy brush, but I'm going to focus it more on the lower part of my crease versus being a little bit more sloppy. So we'll focus that in. This is going to create some depth and dimension. And we'll do that on the other side. Yeah, so far this shadow is looking pretty good. It's been blending out pretty easily too. So I'll go back and forth windshield wiper motions, but I'll also kind of go in circular motions too. I'm going to tap a little bit into Hive again. So my eyeshadow looks, when I'm testing stuff out, isn't super crazy. And the reason why is because I want to see how the shadows perform on how I will typically do my eyeshadow every day versus, you know, doing something super complex like a cut crease. Just because I like to reserve more technical makeup looks for products that I know will perform and that I can really be confident they're going to show up well. And I don't want to put the time in and effort if it's not going to turn out pretty. Unless I'm just playing with makeup, which is fine. But tonight we're actually giving this a fresh shot and doing a review. I said actually again. Alright, on camera it doesn't look great, but in person, I promise you, it does. It always comes together. And I have no additional product on this brush, and I'm going to go ahead and just lightly blend out the edges and blur them out. Back and forth, back and forth. And I'm not sweeping up, I'm literally just going back and forth into my crease just to blur out that definition we added. There. Okay. I think we're in business now. Can you see that? Let's see if this helps too on this side. Okay. So yeah, I definitely have some fallout over here and over here near the edges. And again, that's why I do my eyes first. I think we are finished with the matte shades in the crease. I might go back with, I'm going to go back, yeah. I'm going to go back into that color Swarm. Seriously, how do people do this? Tap off and just buff this in to where we originally put it in the crease. This is just to ensure there are no harsh lines between the two colors and everything is blended in well. I find that I do these steps and these techniques more often than not. Let's create some more definition on the outer V and take a smaller, denser brush so I can place some product a lot more precisely on the outer V. We can take this brush by Jeffree Star. It's clean. It is the Morphe Jeffree Star JS56 brush. It looks dirty, but it's just stained. And it's a lot more stiff. Oh, focus. It's a lot more stiff at the end. So you have a lot more control of where you're placing product. More often than not as well, I will have my dog in the room. So I'm going to take the darkest shade in this palette named Sting. And I'm going to define the outer V a little bit more. I have tea spilled all over my shirt. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So I'm going to take this in the outer V. I'm not going to go very high on the crease. I'm just going to go into the crease. Start going back and forth and taking it up till about the middle. I don't have any additional product now. Then we will go on the other side, do the same. We'll likely have to blend things out, so don't worry. It'll all come together. It always does. I am confident it will. just tapped a little excess off. Looks like, okay, this shade is a little tiny bit patchy, but nothing we can't fix with blending. Define this a little bit more on the outer V. Sometimes a trick I like to do is flip my brush. My dog is now behind me. She's gonna freak out if I move at all. Apologies in advance. Yeah, and on camera this looks like doo-doo. But in person, it doesn't look that, it really doesn't look that bad. I'm gonna take the brush that the palette came with, that fluffier side, and we are gonna buff this out and just blend it in. Here we go. Using the palette mirror, which I've already got dirty. Go me. We're just gonna buff the edges out. Unless you're going for like a super editorial look, I never do that. I wouldn't recommend keeping things unblended and harsh. We're truly just going back and forth on that. So that's a lot more blended out versus this side. Take a look. Let me get super close. This is kind of blurred out. Here it's still a little bit, I think I went in too hard here. Too defined, but it's okay. We can just go back and forth. When in doubt, blend it up. Should I do a wing today? It's always the question of the day. Am I doing a wing? I don't know. Kind of frustrated that on camera it's not picking up at how seamless everything looks. I bet in natural lighting it'll look a lot better too. Alright, I think it's time to move on and grab the original brush we were using. I'm going to be going in and out a lot. And go back to the shade Keeper just to soften these edges a little bit. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to go in with that flat side of this brush, and we're going to take Queen, which is that olive brown type of shade, and go in to the rest of my lid, and we're going to go in on this from the inner corner to the center, up until where we added that dark shade Sting. So about 3/4 of the way. I can't even really... Can you guys see that? It's not really picking up on camera and actually not really picking up on the brush. So I'm going to go ahead and use my finger and dab it in. Okay, there we go. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Alright, I just dipped my finger in again. I'm going on this side. This is like super fall vibes over here. So it's like an olive with gold flecks. You can kind of see it a little bit, not super obvious. So when I take some close-up pictures, I think you'll be able to see. And then using that end of the fluffier end of the brush this came with, I'm going to go back into Sting, but I'm going to just literally lightly doop, tap the excess, because I'm going to go back in to the outer V and like near the end of my lid and just press that on just to make sure we get a little bit of that definition back, since we laid down that olive tone. It's like an army green olive tone. Can you guys even see this? The lighting in here is so bad. It's like not even funny. Okay, let's see how many more times I can complain about lighting. Maybe when I scoot back, you'll be able to see it a little bit more. And that's all I think I'll do for the eyes. This is pretty wearable. So far, I really do like this palette. I think, unfortunately, picked up better. It did not pick up very well on camera, but I will continue to use this. I think what I'm going to do with these first impressions videos is make sure I test it out at least another 4 times. I feel like if you can give a product, if you use a product at least 5 times, you know whether or not it's good or bad. I think the first time around, it doesn't say whether or not a product is good. I mean, you have to test things out, try different products underneath it. I like to try to use the same product though, underneath my eyes, the Tarte Shapetape, and then setting it down with a powder to ensure that I have some consistency and a constant when I'm trying things out. Super scientific, I know, not really, it's hella basic, but so far I really like this. I really like the tones. I think obviously with any eyeshadow palette, if colors like this don't speak to you, don't buy it. If you don't think the colors are something you'll use or you'll enjoy, just don't buy it. More is not more. Don't just buy things because everyone tells you it's bomb. Just don't. I'm going to keep this palette on hand. We're going to go ahead. I'll be right back. I'm going to do my eyes, my liner, and I'll put on some lashes, and then we can finish up the complexion and see the finished look. Be right back. Alright. So this is the finished eye look for the lids with lashes. I didn't do a full wing. I just made sure to take some eyeliner in. And then as far as what I'm using for liner, I have been using this for 2-3 years, and this was a recommendation by Jam Beauty 89. She's awesome. Mom crew, mom and makeup. This is the NYX Professional Makeup Epic Ink Liner, and it was talked about. Here is the tip. It's a brush tip, and it's super saturated and dark and black, which is exactly what I need for my liner and what I look for. It's not completely matte as far as how it dries down. It's got a little tiny bit of a sheen, which I don't mind at all, but for a while the Kat Von D Tattoo Ink Liner was the one liner I feel like everybody was using, and then she had brought this up as a kind of a dupe because it is a brush tip. The formulas are a little bit different because I have used both, and I find this one to be a lot more opaque and a lot easier to use. The Kat Von D Epic Ink Liner also dries out pretty quickly, so I find that this is great. If anything, this is too wet, so I store it upright versus down, just to ensure that the tip doesn't get super saturated with product. And then to tightline under my lashes, I use, and I see I'm missing a spot, I used the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade 0. And these are super good. I usually get these guys in a set. Super creamy, super opaque. I mean, that wasn't the best swatch ever. I usually wait till the holidays to get a set of different colors, so I never go through a full eye pencil since I am a liquid liner type of girl anyway. So this guy's a little mini. It actually came as a free gift when I got the Honey Palette, and I do have a couple of the small ones that have come with as free gifts or that I've purchased as minis. So this is the finished eye look so far. I'm debating on whether or not I want to try doing something at my bottom lash line just because it doesn't ever work out well. So we're going to zoom out here. Alright, we are going to do complexion now. So I've got my face already pre-primed and moisturized with the TooFaced, what is it called? It's a RX Hangover TooFaced hydrating primer made with like coconut water. And then on top of that, I have the Farsali Unicorn Tears just to add a little bit of luminosity to my skin. So let's go ahead and get started with some foundation. We're going to breeze through the complexion since this video is primarily focused on the Urban Decay Honey Palette. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through this and get some music on for you, but I'll make sure to show what products I am using. Is done. Let's go back to the eyes and try to do our lower lash line and then highlight the brow bone, highlight the inner corner, throw on a lip, set, and call it a day. Calling it a day anyways because it is late. I'm gonna drink some my tea in my awesome mug that I got at the rack and it was on sale. I just got tea all over my face. This is why I'm not a professional. Alright. Let's do some lips. Let the hair out too. Woo! That looks actually quite nice. Today we are going to use a lipstick. Because who uses lipstick nowadays? Like no one. This is the Wet n Wild. Yeah, Wet n Wild. $2. Mochalicious. I don't know what this actual product is called. It just says Mochalicious Delish. Yeah, doesn't really say. It's a bullet lipstick from Wet n Wild. Do you like that hair tie? We're gonna go ahead and just get this sucker on. I bet some of you are cringing because I'm not wearing a lip liner. I don't do lip liners. Let's talk about that sometime. Because I don't like lip liners. I think it's an unnecessary, not unnecessary, it's an extra step that I'm not willing to take. And I have been blessed with really big lips, so I don't feel the need to a lot of the time. Didn't mean for that to sound as arrogant as it did. Yeah, I like that. Okay, I think we're ready to set my face. For setting the face today, we're going to use the Becca Skin Love. There's like a sticker on here. Glow Shield Prime and Set Mist. Super pretty bottle. Very iridescent. I don't think the product is actually iridescent. I think it has a little bit of iridescence and shimmer. Super fine mist. So good. And it smells good. It's not super overly fragranced, but it is good. And then I'm going to use my handy dandy hand fan to dry down this face. Alrighty guys, this is the finished look with the Urban Decay Naked Honey Palette right here. This was a first impression video. I'm calling this series Late to the Game because I am your everyday average consumer. I don't do YouTube for a living. I'm not a beauty influencer. I'm just a makeup enthusiast. I have done makeup quote unquote professionally for like weddings and shoots here and there throughout the years. I've never officially worked for a counter. I got hired on by MAC and then I backed out because of my 9-to-5 career. But this is my first impression of this palette. I'm gonna put up the actual color scheme for you. This is totally my jam. So I'm super into neutrals. I also like really colorful things. But these are yellow toned, golden toned looks, and I dig it. I'm all about golden toned looks. I have golden undertones, so it seems to complement my skin really well. I love yellow. Yellow and mustardy tones are my favorite colors, and it is fall. So I really enjoyed using this. I think it blends out really well. There was a little bit of patchiness with this color named Sting here, but it wasn't that bad. I didn't get a chance to actually dip into, there's actually again, a ton. No, I think I dipped into quite a bit of the shadow. So quick summary, I used the color Swarm right here. I was able to use the color Keeper, Hive, Drip, Sting, and Queen. So I used about half the palette. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and give this another few rounds. I think I said this during the tutorial that I would at least give it 5 tries. I think a handful, like a true handful, is a good gauge of whether or not a product performs. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I was really excited to purchase this. I purchased it with my own hard-earned money. And that's where kind of these types of reviews I think are helpful when you're buying the product and you don't already have that bias from it being sent to you. You have a little bit of skin in the game, so your standard I feel like is higher. But yeah, this palette I feel like everyone talked about last month, that I wasn't able to get my hands on it right away because I chose not to. I chose to purchase other things that I needed more, like foundation and powder that I use on the daily. But I will make sure to do these types of first impression reviews where me as a consumer provides you, the viewer, rhyming, with my first thoughts of the product, and then I will make sure to do an update in the next month, and I'll let you know when I do an update on whatever video I'm filming that week if I have an update. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, so appreciate you guys kicking it with me. Thanks for hanging out. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome, and you would be even more awesome if you rang the bell so you were notified when I post next. Thanks again for watching, guys. Bye!